Good evening, everyone. We are going to call the meeting to order. It is 5:05. We apologize for the lateness. It is Friday afternoon, after all. And we have quorum, correct?
Correct, we do.
Okay. So we're going to call the meeting to order. It's 5:05. First item on the agenda are to approve the agenda. May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Also, approval of the meeting minutes, however, I don't see the meeting minutes attached to this meeting. Oh,
Discussion, all in favor, aye.
okay. All right, let's start over then. So, we have items number 2 and 3 on the agenda, approval of the agenda and approval of the meeting minutes. However, I don't think the meeting minutes are attached. Do we have meeting minutes from this November 22nd meeting? If we don't, we can take that off and vote on it next time.
No, they are not attached.
They're not attached. So we're gonna hold off on the meeting minutes, and so I guess I need,
We gotta vote.
say that again?
We have to vote on approving the agenda.
Okay, so let's vote on approval of the agenda. May I have a motion?
And I second.
May I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
We good?
Opposed, no. Abstention, position.
This is why I'm not board president, because I hate Robert's Rules of Order.
But motion passes.
Motion passes. We're going to remove item 3, though. We're not going to approve meeting minutes today.
Motion to remove item 3. Second.
Motion passes? Oh, wait, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, item number 4, which is the thing that we want to get to for the folks that are waiting. Public comments. Is anyone here for public comment? Mr. Zurier, please step up.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Honorable school board members, I was hoping the superintendent would be here, but I guess he's not. My name's Sam Zurier. I'm a proud graduate of the Providence Public Schools and a grateful father of 3 children who graduated from the Providence Public Schools. Last year, in my capacity as a state senator, I introduced legislation to restore the school board's oversight with regard to a limited number of school department policy and operations for the duration of the takeover. After the bill passed the Senate, the House of Representatives modified it to replace oversight with a reporting relationship based on the Speaker's view that the takeover could proceed more effectively and efficiently without the blunt instrument of state legislation. While I believe that the oversight contained in the bill last year was necessary, after the legislation failed, it was my hope that an effective working relationship between the school board and the school department could develop on an informal, cooperative basis and the voluntary sharing of information. The takeover order, in effect, allows the school department to return as much informal or formal authority to the school board as the department wishes, and I hope that happens. From my own experience as a school board member many years ago, I know that a collaborative working relationship between the school board and the school department is both possible and beneficial. I was therefore concerned to read the letter that the school board sent to the superintendent that triggered today's meeting. I do not personally place great weight on either an anonymous letter written by dissatisfied employees or in a confidential settlement of a civil lawsuit whose contents are unknown to the public. I also respect and appreciate the superintendent's commitment to the vital mission of educating our children in Providence. But I also know something else. The current takeover is set to expire in 2 years. If the takeover ends at that time, the school department will return to full oversight and supervision of you, the members of the Providence School Board. In light of that possibility, I believe it behooves all of you, both within the school department, unfortunately they're not here right now, and the school board, you folks, to find ways to strengthen the relationship now so that the eventual transition proceeds smoothly and effectively. Given the current alignment of authority, it appears this collaboration requires the school department to take the first step and then for the school board to justify the trust placed in it. While it may be possible for the duration of the takeover for the school department to keep the school board at arm's length, that arrangement will change when the takeover ends, and the actions that the school department takes today may have unfortunate ramifications for that future eventuality. For that reason, I urge all of you to find productive ways to collaborate beyond what you may be required to do. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Zurier. If you wouldn't mind, your statement, not all school board members are here. If you wouldn't mind emailing it to us.
I have it here in paper.
Oh, perfect. Can you give it to Al? And then
Sure.
we'll scan it and make it available to everyone that's not here.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Thomas, you ready to take the mic? Yes.
Okay. Is my mic on? Perfect. Good evening, and I apologize to the board for my tardiness. Traffic up there is a little bit more than I anticipated getting over here, so I apologize. I also want to thank Mr. Zurier for your public comment and your service, not only to the school board, but statewide as well. All right. Is there anyone else? Mr. Kushner signed up this evening for public comment. Okay. We will move on into school board comments. Yeah. Is there any comments from members of the board?
I have a comment. Just very short and sweet. Senator Zuri, I really appreciate your comments about collaboration. So reminding this board that there's 2 years, left of this takeover, and we need to get to a point between the district, the school board, community as a whole to build trust, but also work on the many systemic issues that are facing our students and our families. So I really appreciate all the work that you've been doing in terms of making sure that there's a pathway for Providence to have control of the schools, but also to make the best of this current structure for our students and our families ultimately. So I just want to say I really appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Escobar. Any additional comments from members of the board? There being none,
No, I prepared a comment, but I'll keep it brief. So, Mr. Zuri, I think set us up for this, for my comment. I'd like to begin tonight's meeting by reading the mission and scope statement that is posted on the PPSC website. I often go back and read this statement to remind me and others why we, the school board, exists and why we're here. The Providence School Board is the governing body responsible for ensuring that the Providence Public School District provides a high-quality education for all Providence students. The school board is not an administrative or day-to-day operations body, but instead governs by establishing a policy to guide the superintendent in the administration and operation of the schools. This is achieved by monitoring progress toward achieving direct goals and by engaging the community in planning for and supporting schools. The individual board member works with the board as a whole and collaboratively with the superintendent to accomplish the district's mission. In July of 2019, the Rhode Island Council of Elementary and Secondary Education voted to enact the Crowley Act, which authorizes RIDE to exercise control over the Providence Public School District's budget, programming, and personnel. RIDE is charged with developing and implementing a turnaround plan for PPSC. The superintendent will be hired by RIDE and will report to the Commissioner of Education. The Commissioner of Education is required to provide an annual report to the mayor, the school board, the city council, and the public on the implementation of the turnaround plan and its progress. And this is the part that I want everyone to pay attention to. It is essential that during this turnaround period, that Providence Public Schools school board members, the mayor, and the Providence City Council collaborate as strong community advocates dedicated to supporting the sustainable change that is needed to improve the quality of education of our children now and post takeover. So That is a function of Providence Public Schools, the school board, now and forever until someone changes the law. That is why we're here today, this special meeting. Not because we think it's fun or funny to meet on a Friday afternoon to frivolously play with the fate of anyone's career. We have a responsibility to the students and families of Providence, a responsibility that we individually or collectively take seriously and has never wavered. And by that same logic, we have a responsibility to members of our school community charged with educating, advocating for, and protecting our students. I'm not going to go through the timeline of the anonymous letter and all of the meetings that have since ensued, but I will say that at our last meeting, the superintendent did join us. We had the opportunity to ask questions and strongly advised him on a variety of actions. We documented his set actions in our follow-up letter sent via email on November 23rd. The superintendent responded November 27th evening with the first and only official notification that he would be taking leave of absence the following day on November 28th due to a medical procedure. These conversations are not about Javier Montañez's personal character or value as an educator. We celebrated and supported his transition from principal to interim to acting to permanent superintendent. We had high hopes for him and expectations of him. And I'd like to, just to set the tone that this is about the board's ability to collaborate with PPSC and right in the future. That's all, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Any additional comments from members of the board? Okay, there being none, we'll move on to the next item. It's executive session, discussion pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42-46-5A1, personnel actions and discussion related to job performance, character, physical or mental health, and executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42-4-5A1 for personnel action. This requires a roll call vote. Mr. Kushner, if you could please call the roll.
Yes, sir. President Thomas?
Aye.
Vice President Garcia?
Aye.
Secretary Dr. Chantal?
Aye.
Mr. Escobar? Mr. Monengabo? Mr. Iappiani?
Aye.
Mr. Stevens?
Aye.
The ayes have it. We stand in executive session. Thank you.